Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
So, welcome, Christina Wessendorf. We are waiting for you to speak today. Basically, she's excited to communicate needs and feelings in a peaceful way and to be fully integrated and wanted in a soul-light community, and how a person can feel truly at home. Christina, you're also called an intercultural peacemaker and is giving back to the next generation in her own way. Christina is also passionate about inner peace and expat. She's an expat community coach. Her TEDx talk, Feel Anywhere at Home in the World, shares her major learning moments as a previous second wife in Egypt. Christina's unique gift is to unite soul-like expats to master peaceful communication, playful through imagery work. So, Christina, your topic today is to make peaceful endings without blame or guilt. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Best wishes, Christiana.
Thank you. I'm great to be here, and welcome to everybody who took the time this morning to really make yourself a gift and learn more about how you can use the spirituality, right, to finish what you don't want maybe in your life, and to start in a beautiful way what you need in order to feel home anywhere in the world. So, like for everybody of you who might during Corona had a change, you moved back to your home country because you cared about your family, right? Or you're still living abroad, and during Corona especially, you felt like, I don't feel so welcomed anymore, right? I don't feel that, I'm still and invited as before, right? Because Corona makes the people either being afraid, or like we here on this beautiful World Parliament, we wanted to embrace Corona and just see what new opportunities we have, how we can redirect our life, right? And so I remember when 9 months ago, I came back from Egypt to Germany, and I had this big identity crush, like Pat said. Well, when I was in Egypt, I was earning money with my mother language. I was special, right? I was teaching German, and the people were so appreciative to me. And I would it was a time where I felt like, oh gosh, back to my origin, right? Back to feeling proud of who I really am. And I learned too that my emotional sides, that I'm not too emotional and not too much, and that the people there, the culture is appreciating it. And so I remember coming back to Germany, and I learned that, that's like you need to welcome the person and you need to make emotional connection first. And I remember sitting in the car when my mom picked me up from the airport, and she said, well, did you already check your tax consultant? Did you already register because you don't have work right now in Germany? Did you already prepared all the papers? And I sat in the car and I thought, I don't feel welcomed. I feel a bit kicked out. Like, do I now need to, be in the system first and have all the papers, and I'm just a number, right? Because in Germany we are so organized. And I felt in the next days, and I told to my mom, this big question mark about who I am, and this big question mark of, okay, am I still needed how I am? And it continued. I needed to search for a job. I was living with my mom in this small room in my mom's house because I had nothing when I left Germany behind to go to Egypt. And I even had problem to apply for a job because I did not feel my worth. I felt like, okay, what am I doing right now in the country I'm born? And I feel I cannot contribute in the way I cannot contribute in the way I created my identity over the last 2.5 years. And so I want to invite you on a journey where we feel, okay, do you feel at home, right? How do you feel that you're arriving home? And one skill, what I have is that no matter where I traveled, within 90 days, I found friends like me, understand me, like friends who are so close to my soul, who are inspiring. I can talk to them. They give me more energy. People who are having same ideas, who are in an entrepreneur journey, and people who I can have real talks with. These friends I can feel very closely within 90 days at home, no matter where I travel. And I'm just like you, right? I have this drive inside of me, this purpose inside of me that I wanted to do my life better. And at the same time, I'm searching to own my place, that I can add value to the community, no matter where I am. And how do we do it? How do we feel that who we are is appreciated? It's when you feel, when you meet and create a soul tribe around you, like who are like you and who values who you really, really are, right? So how do we do this? I would love to invite you to go for 3 steps. Step number 1 is know what you need. Step number 2, listen to your inner voice. Step number 3, take inspired actions. Let's start with number 1, know what you need. Sometimes it can feel so hard to really exactly knowing what you need. It can be this feeling of emptiness inside of you. You know this when you might talk to a person and it's really a misfit, a mismatch, and you feel like you're the stupid little girl. You feel like, oh, you're not good enough for the other person. And it feels like the energy is draining out of you and you feel like, right, you're not in the right place. Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is when you don't have this grounding and the stand for what you need. And there is still this fight inside of you of, okay, I need this, but I'm not showing up as the right. I want to please the other person. I really want to be appreciated. And like by accident, what is appreciated right now is when you are, silent and you're just smiling and you're clapping when the other person says something, either though it's really not you, right? So we have the desire to please, and this makes us a big fight because we are very driven persons and we really have something to say in our life. And that we might feel that, like sharing right now your opinion, like because it will be different than all the others, it will kick you out of the community, right? So this big fear of being excluded, being punished, when you say what you really need, what you really feel, this is there. And let me tell you, I had it so many times. And one of the moments was then, speaking to my 10-year-old girl, it was a time when my parents decided not to continue the relationship as a man and woman who are in love together. And they decided to raise us kids in an environment of big friendship. And so that, that they will decided already to separate in a few years when we are growing up. And as a kid, I felt it, and I was so confused about, that I needed to fight to keep my family together, that it was actually such an anger inside of me were born, and I could not express this needs that I had to talk to my mom and to take a stand for my dad, and I couldn't express my feelings, so I started to bully my sisters, right? So the beauty is coming back to know what you need let's say, right, you are now searching for your soul friends, online or offline. It really does not matter. What kind of friend do you really need? Make it clear and be so honest to yourself. There is no punishment, no judgment, like Pat said. I love this part. And so, do you want a friend where you can just, a phone number where you can just have a nice talk to? Like, let's be honest, sometimes we feel lonely, we feel empty, and we really would love to just have a person we can have, casual talk with, to not feel alone. That's fine too. Or do you want a person where you can share your honest feeling about how do you feel towards your sister? How do you feel towards your father? Do you really want to, right, to be at this place? How do you really feel, right? And from this position, you're moving on to step number 2. Listen to your inner voice. Now, listen to your inner voice. I think the biggest breakthrough is when we understand that no matter what our society teaches us, our education or our family said that it's wrong what we feel, it's true for you. No matter how you were raised, that it's not good to raise your voice and to share what you really want to say. For you, it's true. And this, you invite other people to respect it, but it's only possible when you are really speaking out loud what you need or feel. This feeling of following your inner voice is a feeling inside. What we can say, like, okay, so how did you decide today that, right? How did I decided that I will wear this top, right? And not a pullover. Well, somehow I felt like, it's beautiful, but still I felt more connected to this. How do you choose your wardrobe in the morning? There's something knowing inside of you that this is better for you or not, right? So when you go into a group of people and the whole evening you just talk to nearly everybody, to this 4 and 5 people, but to this person in the corner, you feel unease. You feel like this, you don't know what to say when you come close to this person. Then this person is not meant for you, right? You don't need to convince. You don't need to please everybody. It means that this person is just not connected to you. And when you know what you need and you listen to your inner voice, I compare it to a Google research. Google research means that know what you need. You type in your Google research, what person exactly do you need? And then you let Google do the rest. Because Google will give you your top 3 results when you're in a group right now with this 15 people, or when you're a group in a room of 100 people. This Google research give you a bing when there's one of your top 3 persons. So how do we hear this bing? It's time to go and trust back your intuition or your inner voice, right? When you cross a person, either it's online or offline, and you said your intention, what you need, you cross a person and your eye starts to shine, and the person starts to smile, and you find a topic easily, it feels naturally, and there's a certain ease, then this person is one of your top 3. So let's move to the step number 3, take inspired actions. Well, now it's time to connect to this person. And how do we do that, connecting to this person? Well, it's about communication right now. Now it's about really sharing from the inside out. And what I found is the best connection starts when you connect through a passion from you right now, or when you connect for a purpose, right? So when I arrived to Germany, I made the same exercise, and I landed in a room with people who are watching a film about Egypt and Egyptian women, and it landed up to talk to the person who organized all these events. Well, we started to talk about how do we want people to be treated, and about this empowerment, part about this. How do we want the world to be treated? How do we feel like, how can we, gather so like people together? So here I was connecting through a purpose of mine, because I believe that when we honor what we feel and go back to this human part of us and really share our intention and what is important for us, I believe that we start forgiving brothers and sisters of different cultures and different countries, and wars can finish because we start to share what we have in common, is that we want to make, we want to live in peace. We want our family to be peaceful. We want our family not only survive, but live their life of value, where they are needed and can contribute just in the way they are. And so what happens when you go into inspiring action is that your words start to open up, is that you start to make a synergy connection with other people. And so you will have this flow inside of you, this, I call it ecstasy, where you're in a state where you can create a lot, where you are guided, where you start to allow life to live through you. And so that you can ask and pray that life is using you, because then everything starts to be easy and starts to flow, and everything starts that you can actually connect and maintain relationships that you just figured out in a really long term, because you are connected on a soul level. And so to close this part is I succeeded when I came to Germany, and I felt so disconnected with all my identity parts. I succeeded to communicate with my inner feelings, with this inner fight, and stop blaming others or Corona, or blaming my mother or whatever it is, right? But start understanding what was the purpose behind, and let it guide me to actually really make peace with this part, close these chapters. And I'm happy to say that I found a job where I was exactly needed, with my language skills, with my experience from abroad. And I landed up in a city where I even, was surrounded by people who are exactly like me. So my invitation to you is, if you want to find your soul friends abroad and feel at home abroad, it's so possible. And I hope I gave you some hope, and I hope I gave you some tips and some steps where you can start just today figuring it out, applying it in your daily life, and raise this inner peace inside of you. Thank you so much.